possible state. It is the 15th of April 2020. Alive and not a turkey. That's how did I said a bunch of things that rhymed. Rapid succession. Marathon, if you will. Let's talk about the number one scammer in the video game creation business. Mother effing Bungie. Now their new marathon reboot. It's a lot of news to talk about. It's a lot of stuff to talk about pertaining to marathon. But we gonna start off with some of the simple stuff. Then we gonna go give you a little bit of breakdown of the controversy that's surrounding the game that ain't even out yet. First thing I want to do is look at some gameplay of this game and talk about it. And this article, I believe, has a couple gameplay. Okay, I remember why I saved this. There's a couple different gameplay trailers. I don't give a fuck about a cinema. Let's see this gameplay. The actual creators of Halo, that piece of shit game that nobody likes, game with all the players, with the whole player base, so people can't play the game because they feel obligated. They're happy. What's more? Hey, maybe Marathon will finally be done. Ooh, I like that weapon.
The end of all things.
I will say one thing that sets this apart from like other shooters coming out right now is I know there's always gonna be people who don't have an eye for art, never created shit in life that's gonna say this looks like XYZ, YZ, or they see something colorful and they go, oh, right? But if you actually pay attention, look at the complexity, whatnot, without getting dirty. The art style of this is actually different. It has a lot of different key things in it that sets it apart from other games. If you actually play video games and you see a lot of different video games, you'll be able to tell the visual design
is not over.
My
dream.
Like
yours. No.
Like this shit looks like an indie game in the best way possible. And the way I mean that is like a lot of AAA games like to make the same thing over and over because they're scared if they look. I like it. This with the whole blocky art style, I like it. Like it get like it's a reminder of like the finals, like the fun and vibrance that the finals has to the artistic ground of like the art style in terms of like stuff like that. But at the same time, it still has that game shooter type vibe that one like one thing I always did like about Halo, not the gameplay, the style. The way the game looks, like the character design looks fucking beautiful. I don't want to play the game. Oh damn! If that was from New York, that would be a damn. Oh, you go. I do it longer. 5 minutes.
Marathon is a team-based
You know what that reminds me of? And y'all can look this up to verify it because I actually looked it up and I was surprised too. Apparently George Bush, like the president George Bush, when apparently there was like a whole huge controversy where he was the only one out of a who to get away. His roommates, let's just say people got to them. I don't know why, but the escape thing just reminded me of that, and that's blowing my mind ever since I found it out.
Action shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4.
Oh, nah.
You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of...
One thing I like about one thing I like about games that require smaller teams, it's easier to get a crew of people. Because like a lot of people are just learning this because they're new to stuff like that, with like Marvel Rivals and stuff like that. But it's not easy to consistently together to play a video game, especially when you're an adult. Like you're in high school or whatever, you know when all your friends have free time during the summer and after school. Oh, not time. So only needing to get together 2 friends, I like that. It is way easier together rather than. And that's not the shit on Marvel Rivals. That's the nature of the job. You're playing a team-based game. It's pretty hard to like have good team chemistry with a bunch of comes to 3 people, and especially in a game where you know it's gonna be more so about who can shoot better versus Marvel Rivals, where it's more about team that you can get into stuff like that. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. I think I'm gonna enjoy at least that aspect if I do.
Interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players.
If they can't play and I can't,
security forces,
I'll be more likely I'll be
and otherworldly threats.
to
To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and...
Oh, so it's a survival looter shooter.
Death.
Okay, that's a little bit different.
But it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents. And in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top. And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight.
Ooh. Okay, so I like that idea because that's gonna make it so that like people who are in like old clan, factions. God damn, why did that take? People who are in factions, stuff like that, are like gonna be more faction, a little bit harder than them, and basically in a. So that's gonna be kind of annoying if they pay real money for that stuff. But if it's all through English, I heard this game price, but that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how.
Because keep in mind, guys, it is a Bungie game. Bungie makes the type of shooters where if you can't shoot, you're punished for it. None of that Marvel Rivals, run to a healer, run to a health pack, get a bailout shit. If you can't shoot, if you over there doing this, ain't no pick Wolverine. The supports are all the way over here. Up to mobbing. Nah, buddy. You gotta learn to flock out your cannon. The ranked mode in this game finna be real.
Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out with contextual ping. Marathon is designed to be played in crews with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out to streamline playing with your friends.
Oh, so you got knee play?
Is not the
Oh yeah.
the last
No,
one
I love a
standing.
game with
You can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner.
Ooh, it's gonna be a lot of YouTube.
No two
Like
runs
that.
in Marathon ever play out the same.
Yeah.
With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive.
Oh, so you popped out the gas and said, "Got him."
And anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Foy and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered.
Ooh,
Want to push
so
enemy teams and steal their
okay, so this game is gonna have a lot. If we're going off what they're describing, I'm assuming what they're describing is true for now because it's out there. The dynamic events thing, it depends on how dynamic. But the way that they're describing the different play styles, they're telling you, they're basically they sneak around Spec Ops with this game. You play like a damn Somali pirate type shit. Anything that move will get to stop moving when I at it. My gun be sounding like a damn toad. My gun sound like Crash Bandicoot. Look at you! Pew 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 pew! Tell me how your gun sounds in the comments down below, head at.
Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends, grab extra equipment.
Oh, you could be a medic!
Nice backpack to be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination.
Wait, now my question is, like, can people run in 2 people crews with no randoms, or if you want to run 2, you have to pick?
Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in.
I would say this. I would say on the story. I'm just going to grab my word. On the seasonal storytelling thing, that's an because like I don't know the previous story of so that my order is not probably left. I don't know the pre story of Marathon. So I'm gonna hold off on judgment of the story. But like very few games can get away with storytelling like a Marvel Rivals can. Why is my volume so low? One sec. Try. Remy boys. Yeah, baby. I hope that's not too low. But anyway, what the fuck? Oh, I don't know the story of Marathon, but the sequel storytelling, that's something we'll have to see later on. Actually, wait. But that's something that we'll have to see later on down the line. If that's good enough for us to get games of this style, I've never get about to see.
Season 1, where you and your friends will.
Apex has a whole in-depth story with like actual cutscenes and stuff like that. Asking Apex K what the story of Apex is, they won't be able to get further than a bunch of people trying to fight in a tournament, get money, die, you can join the next tournament, if not, or whatever. Like most people don't care or know the story of Apex Legends besides a bunch of jumping in a ring, right in the tournament. Versus something like Marvel Rivals, the average Marvel Rivals player has a good idea of the story. Now they may not know the intro, they may not read the comics, not reading some big ass lore paragraphs. They understand it way better than people understand in a way. So with games of this nature, rarely give a fuck about the story, so we'll see if it's good enough.
Start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4.
Shit, now that I think about it, besides Halo, they haven't made a story that anybody has gave a fuck about in a long time. Like, just the last couple games. I think it's just Halo and Destiny. Yup. Halo, after Halo, the only thing they did after that was Destiny. Now they trying to maintain Destiny while making Marathon. So the last good story wrote was Halo. And the last Halo was like what? Bungie. That was Halo. Halo. Okay. Yep, 2010. So the last time they worked on a Halo story was 2010. And I don't remember if people like the story of Halo Reach. I do remember that like around the time when Halo 3 came out, like as a little jittery, some of my friends, they hated it that game ended. They were hoping that the Halo game at the fix it. Halo game was about the story of this game. So it's like, I don't know. The last time y'all wrote a story that anybody liked, definitively, that I know people agreed that was liked by Bungie, was Halo 2. I don't know I know Destiny players. Like, Destiny is one of those rare game franchises that are like Elden Ring and Call of Duty, where most people genuinely play that game for the multiplayer. Like, there's a part of the player base that understands the story and whatnot. Yes, there's a part of the player base that knows the story. But they don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care. They don't care. Because it's terrible or it's boring to the point to where nobody felt like it was worth investing attention in. Story be different? Again, the game comes out, we don't know, but my guess is it's probably the fuck not.
Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.
I have a feeling like there is no big, but it feels like there is. Yeah. 23rd. Will not be there. I'll try and get into that. Anyway, talking about Marathon. Marathon priced T by Bungie. Marathon will be a premium title but not fully priced game. The extraction shooter will likely be priced $40 range, but fans will need to wait until the summer to find out exactly how much it will cost. $39.99. Tariffs probably $50. Interested players can join the closed alpha test from April 23rd to May. How far is that from? Because right now. So that's next week Wednesday. So yeah, if y'all want to join up to that, join up. But it starts next week Wednesday. Not gonna lie. What I saw, y'all might hate me, but I think y'all might conquer. Now, I don't really know what reasons why others made the comparison, but I do that, like, one thing I said, I could go back to my Concord. One thing I said about Concord is that, like, one thing they were gonna have to fight is they were gonna have to try and fight really hard to justify why anybody should pay $40 for a game that brain rot is gonna make them think it could be. Even if all the cosmetic stuff like that inside the game are free, a lot of people have been conditioned at paying for all this extra stuff after you get the game is just normal. Do it so often. That's crap. So, especially last NBA 2K, I will always, bro. Make a Trump. Make a Trump. Here's blowing up like a like this. Crush this. I don't like like smoking weed. I don't even want to smoke. I never want to smoke. You ask people, I don't like the whole idea. I'm going to crush that CD up. I'm going to sprinkle it in blunt. I got a friend named Queen, and if I ever smoke a blunt, call Queen. Crush that up. Put it in there. Put it up. And I'm going to say 2KK. Matter of fact, I'm going to write it on the rolling paper. I don't care if I'm smoking marker. I'm going to write it on the rolling paper. 2K. 2K on a pack. Like, I remember the day that happened. I'm praying. I'm going to be sitting there, my lungs up, spitting out all the music in my body. Guess what? My body with it. I had to flex bomb it twice. I hate 2K that much. I hate 2K. Back to talking about things. Like I was saying, a lot of people have been participating in the cycle of buy the game just to unlock the ability to buy everything. That they may not well too. And this is not a very well-known. This is not a very well-known, prior-known franchise with like 5, like a Halo Infinite, something like that may be able to get away with. Call of Duty that really never had a fall off. 2009. Or has been top seller distant every year since 2000. So it's gonna be hard to price give people $100 worth of content for free. This game better not have a single microtransaction. This game better not have single glitch or bug day one. That's another thing. This game better have screen balancing. There better not be no broken gun. This game, top of the supreme balancing. You better make sure that on top of glitches and bugs, you better make sure nobody finds no crazy exploits that make everything has to be perfect to justify a premium price, likely $50. Not the definitive exact price, likely. Again, Concord was a good game. I really wanted to pay for Concord, but I knew something told me don't buy that game day one. Wait about a month if people actually, because I knew exactly what happened to me. Very high chance. Turn around, look what happened. I know that was corny, but fuck you, get my point. So like, they could pull this off. They could get this. Because Bungie does have a deck. Also, this studio is actually marketing the game, but Concord should have did so they could get more than 600 people on a goddamn game day one that was really just all a beta tester. The game has a potential, but all make or breaks. In case y'all can't recognize, this is gonna be a live service. It solely depends how good that first week is. If that first week isn't filled with gameplay of all the top in that space, not the Valkyries and the Pokemon just exist and pop in out of talk about. I'm talking about people who like the Shroud, like the people like that who are big in the shooter type. If they co-sign it, genuine co-sign it, can get. Like, I'm not talking about if they if they RDC in what was that game? Tides of Pain or something like that, the Avatar game. I'm not talking about that type of cosign where they're like, yes, we enjoy this game and we're gonna play it off stream. Not that type of interesting. I'm talking about actually interesting. And this game has a potential to get a fan base. Now, will it break into the mainstream? I don't know about that one. Is it impossible? No. But is it highly likely? Is it even a medium chance of likelihood? Hell no. Very low, but low is higher than impossible. Now, talk about the thing. Oh. Where is it? This is the perfect time because. Alright. Yo, I had my ear to little tweeter twat, Twitter twip, bird street. I've been hearing people, and you know exactly what people are talking about. And before I even talk about this, I just wanna I'll talk about. I just want to say, I'm waiting for an answer. All those people, them niggas that was laughing when niggas photoshopped George Floyd's face on the basket, did that weirdo shit. All the people who was talking about that, all the people who saying this game was fair, where you at? Where you at? Yo, come here. Yeah, I got a question for you. When this game gonna start failing? I'll restart the timer. When it's gonna happen? I'm waiting. When it's going to happen? And if in the YouTube version the music gets muted, it's a Jeopardy in the background. When it's gonna happen? When it's gonna happen? I got the answer. It never. This game came out. A lot of people love it. The game isn't that fucking bad. Works for the most part. Back to this. I've seen people out here shouting, growling by the mouth, head cocked sideways, seizuring, calling this game woke, saying this game's gonna fail when it ain't come out. I'm not gonna lie, at this point, that niggas got a shitty batting average. That niggas got terrible predictions. I said South of Midnight was I said that South of Midnight was before Spoken came. I said that shit was $70 game at $70. I said that split. Y'all got a bad batting average right now. What's going on? What's going on? You motherfuckers don't play games. That's what motherfuckers just talk. That's what niggas are stuck in an echo chamber bubble of people saying that games are non-binary this, non-binary that, and non-binary as in NON dash or hyphen, whatever one you want to call it, BUY nary, like making fun of non-binary people. You didn't buy it. Someone did. And the numbers of the someones who brought it are so high, so much higher and larger than your community that pretty sure some of the people that the game was trash brought it. Y'all went over there and said the game was trash, and y'all brought it just to take screenshots, make videos saying, "Oh my God, we hate the mission." How would you be able to hate the mission if you never played the game? Y'all niggas ain't bootlegging games, buying them. I say it once. Yeah, fine. Just because your daddy's a bitch, you can smack you upside the head and say, "Shut up, you dumb piece." I will. I can't physically hurt you. I'm verbally. That's just so. I say all that to say, if I was a gamer, though, I would be in my office cheering. I'd be walking around, dancing, going, what that song? I'm the man. I'll be walking around the studio like that. Like in the GIF with the Wolf of Wall Street when they was throwing the papers everywhere. I'll be like that. I'll be like LeBron doing like this, walking down the court, bro. I'll be so happy because every time they say the game gonna fail, they don't. Every time they say a game gonna be a trash, game gonna come out and be trash because it's wow. It isn't. Oh, another one. I forgot this. Y'all said Miles Morales was gonna be trash. Black man. Y'all said that Spider-Man 2 was trash because of 1 minute with some gay kid in it. That game was up for Game of the Year. Y'all said The Last of Us 2 would be trash because it's woke and it has gay characters. One Game of the Year. So I really want to know. Why y'all keep blessing games with the "it's gonna be trash" and a failure tag? Cause they keep succeeding. But to go into this article, to call this game a failure before it's even out is wild to me. As Marathon draws some inevitable Concord comparisons, a former Firewalk dev urges folks to let Bungie cook. To be fair, somebody should have told y'all motherfuckers stop cooking. Because y'all did cook up some fire, but y'all didn't cook up a marketing. I commend them for taking it. I do too. Tired of the same goddamn game over. Tired of it. I'm tired, Grandpa. Give me a quick reference. Concord fell flat in President's run following last week being pulled from jail in less than after bombing pretty hard out of the gate. It was playable for less than 30 days also. To look that information up. There was some debate as to whether Sony might opt to bring it back with a fresh coat of paint further down the line, but that ship sailed when console maker instead decided to cut this. Fast forward, in a post on the Marathon subreddit by Steve Williams, a Concord dev, the VFX word, blah blah blah. Username Mr. Spung said, I have been a long time lurker, many years, rarely post to Reddit / any social in regards to what is going on with my life as a developer artist. After reading the comments about Marathon being Concord 2.0 on Reddit, YouTube, and Twitch, I just wanted to share a little insight into what a 40-year-old man is feeling after dedicating a large portion of his life to me. I have been a long time blah 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 for the past 17 years. Wait, I gotta restart things. I really gotta be on that time. The past 17 years, I've been a part of some great projects. I've worked with some of the most talented people who made me the dev I am today. Many players know about Concord and what happened with that project. Concord failed to inspire players, and the messages, it failed to tell players that it existed. And the messages was heard loud and clear, nigga. It was a gut wrenching to see our project fail and be the laughing stock of many online. I have learned from that failure. I've learned that failure is what drives me to succeed. No one feels as bad as the people who put their time on, hoping it will entertain the masses of gamers across the globe. I am not asking for pity or even sympathy. Because after all, this is the name of the game. When you go home a bitch, you go home real. The margin for success is very thin. I took a chance and I just lost. But some of you probably smell blood in the water. You probably want to roast me for no longer lurking and expose my. Whoa, you shouldn't be pulling your dick out on the Reddit. That's weak. Anyway, I hope you don't and see that people create these projects, work very hard on. Very hard to be on the next big thing. Seeing the faces of developers on the Bungie gave me hope. Statement. What is it? I commend them for taking a chance, trying something that isn't proven, no guarantees. It takes a lot of. And yeah, I commend. One thing I want to say in regards to this is I agree. Hard to make a game that isn't a nice game. But one thing I do want to counter with is the whole we work hard on. People who are creative love to think about how hard they work on a project, but sometimes don't realize that nobody gives a fuck how hard you work on it. They care about if they enjoy it. Something you have to understand about is you first have to understand the profile of that. When it comes to this, maybe not in life, but when it comes to they're selfish. Those hoes, none of that shit. They are selfish. They don't give a fuck how they felt after. They care about if they saw the video and they went, bro, this was fire. Saw the video and they got 10. Cut it off. That's That's what they care about. So to counter that point, nobody gives a fuck how hard it's working. In Fortnite, it made a great game. Matter of fact, not Delta, Undertale. The dude who made Undertale, deadass didn't know how to code. Like his code is what's considered spaghetti code. Those of you who don't understand, basically he made the game like for lack of better words and sake of understanding. He did the dumbest shit possible. But everything he did while making that game was basically the dumbest and hardest way to do it for no reason other than stupid dumb big he doesn't know how to do it the right way. And that's not the whole story, but for sake of understanding, that's the TLDR. Undertale is one of the highest selling games of all time. That game transcended the indie scene. That game is like a poster child for what one developer could do. Because by the way, the whole game of Undertale is made by one person. So that's coding, art, story, background, aesthetics, storyboarding, everything done by one crib. So my point is to say people care about the end. So I will push back against that. People don't understand how hard something is. But I will say though, and what you are going for, and what I think is something you should more clearly communicate, is that a lot of the time people are moving more serious than they need. Like, we get that these developers make we understand that these developers are making that go against your political, religious. You don't have to send niggas death threats over. You don't have to spread hate and propaganda. I don't know if it's just like me being raised by parents that were actually my parents. Because some of you niggas got parents that live in the household, got two. But like, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Now, there's a difference between criticizing somebody and being just because a dickhead. Like, there's a difference between saying, I don't like this game, whoever made the game should decide them. Those are two different statements, right? Those are different statements. I do agree with him. But let's go back to talk about either. Go broke! People are stamping this game with the stamp of outlining that it was gut-wrenching to watch Concord suffer the fate it was. For someone who liked Concord just on the player side and somebody who was technically a beta tester, it was sad. And being pretty open about the aspects of the game that might have contributed to what happened, Willems wrote, no one feels as bad as the their time on we read the whole thing. I was just asking, yeah man, it was sad to see. Those of you who are staying, just give me like water. I'll tell you reload.